The grand doors of the Galactic Council chamber swung open, revealing a delegation of humans who strode in with purpose and determination. Captain Lena Surov led the way, her eyes fixed on the podium at the center of the room. The murmuring of the alien representatives grew louder as they took in the sight of the human delegation. Lena could feel the weight of 1,000 stares upon her as she and her team made their way to the podium. She knew that the Galactic Council, comprised of the most advanced civilizations in the known universe, had little regard for humanity. To them, humans were nothing more than primitive upstarts, barely worth acknowledging. As Lena took her place at the podium, the Zoraxian ambassador leaned over to his celestial hegemony counterpart and whispered, "Can you believe these humans? They think they've won some great victory." The Archon of the celestial hegemony chuckled softly. "Indeed, they have no idea what they're up against. The Crutaxians are the most feared warriors in the galaxy. These humans don't stand a chance." Lena cleared her throat, silencing the whispers and drawing all attention to herself. She stood tall and proud, her voice strong and clear as she addressed the council. "Esteemed members of the Galactic Council," she began, "I am Captain Lena Surov of the United Earth Federation. I come before you today to announce a great victory for humanity. We have defeated the Crutaxian Empire in a war that threatened our very existence." The chamber erupted in laughter. The alien representatives found the notion of human victory over the mighty Crutaxians to be utterly absurd. They had seen countless civilizations fall before the Crutaxians' might, and they had no reason to believe that humanity would fare any better. Lena remained unfazed by their laughter. She had expected this reaction. She knew that the Galactic Council had underestimated humanity for far too long. It was time to show them the true strength and resilience of the human spirit. "Laugh all you want," Lena said, her voice cutting through the laughter like a knife. "But the fact remains that we have achieved what no other civilization has managed. We have defeated the Crutaxians and secured our place in the galaxy." The laughter died down, replaced by murmurs of disbelief and curiosity. The alien representatives leaned forward in their seats, eager to hear more about this supposed human victory. Lena activated the holographic display built into the podium, and a series of images and video footage appeared in the air above her. The images showed human ships engaging Crutaxian warships in fierce battles, human soldiers fighting on the ground with advanced weapons and tactical gear, and Crutaxian ships exploding in brilliant flashes of light. "As you can see," Lena continued, "we did not achieve this victory through sheer brute force. We used our ingenuity, our adaptability, and our unwavering determination to exploit the weaknesses in the Crutaxian Empire's defenses." She zoomed in on a particular image, showing a swarm of tiny glowing objects surrounding a massive Crutaxian warship. "These are our microdrones," she explained, "designed to penetrate the Crutaxian shields and disrupt their systems from within. Our scientists and engineers worked tirelessly to develop this technology, knowing that it could mean the difference between victory and annihilation." The alien representatives watched in stunned silence as the footage played out before them. They saw human ships darting and weaving through the Crutaxian fleet with incredible speed and precision, evading the enemy's weapons fire and delivering devastating counterattacks. "But technology alone did not win this war," Lena said, her voice growing more impassioned. "It was the bravery and sacrifice of our soldiers, our pilots, and our crews that truly made the difference. They fought with everything they had, knowing that the fate of humanity rested on their shoulders." She paused for a moment, letting the weight of her words sink in. The chamber was silent now, the alien representatives hanging on her every word. "We lost many brave men and women in this war," Lena continued, her voice heavy with emotion. "They gave their lives so that humanity could have a future. We will never forget their sacrifice, and we will honor their memory by ensuring that their deaths were not in vain." She looked out at the alien representatives, her gaze piercing and unwavering. "Humanity has earned its place among the stars," she declared. "We have proven ourselves to be a force to be reckoned with, a civilization worthy of respect and recognition. We do not seek conquest or domination, but rather cooperation and mutual understanding. The chamber remained silent for a long moment, the alien representatives lost in thought. They had never considered humanity to be a serious player on the galactic stage, but now they were forced to reevaluate their assumptions. Finally, the Zoraxian ambassador stood up, his expression one of grudging respect. "Captain Serov," he said, "I must admit that I am impressed by what you have accomplished. The Crutaxians were a formidable foe, and your victory over them is no small feat." Lena inclined her head in acknowledgement. "Thank you, Ambassador," she said. "But this victory belongs to all of humanity, not just to me or my crew. We fought as one, united in our determination to protect our home and our way of life." The other alien representatives began to nod and murmur in agreement. They could see now that humanity was not to be underestimated, that they possessed a strength and resilience that belied their seemingly primitive nature. As the meeting drew to a close, Lena and her team left the chamber with their heads held high. They had accomplished what many had thought impossible, and they had done it through sheer grit and determination. But Lena knew that this was only the beginning. Humanity had taken its first steps onto the galactic stage, but there were still many challenges ahead. There would be new enemies to face, new alliances to forge, and new frontiers to explore. But for now, Lena allowed herself a moment of satisfaction. She had shown the Galactic Council what humanity was capable of, and she had done it with style and grace. The laughter of the alien representatives still echoed in her ears, but she knew that it was a laughter born of ignorance and arrogance. Humanity had arrived, and the galaxy would never be the same again. A demonstration of human ingenuity. Captain Lena Serov stood at the helm of the UES Invictus, her gaze fixed on the viewscreen before her. The ship was preparing to embark on a crucial mission, one that would demonstrate the full extent of human ingenuity and resourcefulness to the Galactic Council. In the weeks following humanity's victory over the Crutaxian Empire, the Galactic Council had been clamoring for more information about the technology and tactics that had made such a seemingly impossible feat possible. Lena and her team had been tasked with providing a thorough demonstration of human capabilities, and they were determined to make it a show that the galaxy would never forget. As the Invictus cleared Earth's atmosphere and entered the vast expanse of space, Lena turned to her crew. "All right, everyone," she said, her voice steady and confident. "This is our chance to show the galaxy what humanity is made of. Let's give them a demonstration they'll never forget." The crew nodded in agreement, their faces set with determination. They had been training for this moment for months, honing their skills and perfecting their techniques. They were ready to show the galaxy what they could do. The Invictus made its way to the designated location, a remote region of space far from any inhabited planets or star systems. The Galactic Council had arranged for a group of their top scientists and military experts to observe the demonstration, and they were already waiting for the humans to arrive. As the Invictus dropped out of warp, Lena could see the alien ships clustered together in the distance. They were an impressive sight, sleek and gleaming in the starlight. But Lena wasn't intimidated. She knew that her ship and her crew were more than a match for anything the aliens could throw at them. "Hail the Galactic Council ship," Lena ordered, and the communications officer complied. A moment later, the face of the Zoraxian ambassador appeared on the viewscreen. "Ah, Captain Serov," he said, his voice dripping with condescension. "I must say, I'm quite curious to see what you humans have in store for us today." Lena smiled tightly. "I assure you, Ambassador, you won't be disappointed. We have prepared a thorough demonstration of human ingenuity and technological prowess." The ambassador raised an eyebrow. "We shall see," he said. "Proceed with your demonstration, Captain." Lena nodded to her crew, and they sprang into action. The first part of the demonstration was a showcase of human weapons technology. The Invictus was equipped with a state-of-the-art arsenal, including plasma cannons, antimatter torpedoes, and a powerful energy shield that could withstand even the most devastating attacks. The weapons officer, Lieutenant Chen, took charge of the demonstration. He expertly maneuvered the ship into position and fired off a series of shots at a group of target drones that had been set up in advance. The plasma cannons tore through the drones like they were made of paper, while the antimatter torpedoes vaporized them in brilliant flashes of light. The alien observers watched in stunned silence as the humans demonstrated the full extent of their firepower. They had never seen weapons like these before, and they were impressed by the humans' mastery of such advanced technology. Next, it was time to showcase human tactical prowess. Lena had arranged for a group of human Marines to participate in a simulated ground battle against a group of combat drones programmed to mimic Crutaxian warriors. The Marines were equipped with advanced exoskeletons that enhanced their strength and speed, as well as neural interfaces that allowed them to communicate and coordinate their movements with lightning-fast precision. As the battle began, the Marines moved with fluid grace and deadly efficiency. They dodged and weaved around the combat drones, taking them out with precise shots from their plasma rifles and devastating close-quarters combat techniques. The alien observers watched in awe as the humans tore through the combat drones like they were nothing. They had never seen such skill and coordination in battle before, and they were forced to admit that the humans were a force to be reckoned with. But the demonstration was far from over. Lena had saved the best for last, a showcase of human ingenuity and problem-solving skills. She had arranged for a series of complex puzzles and challenges to be set up on a nearby planet's surface. The challenges were designed to test the humans' ability to think on their feet and come up with creative solutions to seemingly impossible problems. The away team, led by Commander John, beamed down to the planet's surface and got to work. They faced challenges that would have stumped even the most advanced alien civilizations, but the humans tackled them with a combination of brainpower and sheer determination. They used their knowledge of physics and engineering to build makeshift bridges and vehicles out of scavenged materials. They used their understanding of biology and chemistry to create antidotes to poisonous gases and deadly diseases, and they used their mastery of technology to hack into alien computer systems and disable security measures. The alien observers watched in amazement as the humans solved each challenge with ease. They had never seen such resourcefulness and adaptability before, and they were forced to admit that the humans were a truly remarkable species. As the demonstration came to a close, Lena couldn't help but feel a sense of pride in her crew and her species. They had shown the galaxy what humanity was capable of, and they had done it with style and grace. The Zoraxian ambassador approached Lena as she prepared to return to the Invictus. "I must admit, Captain Serov," he said, his tone grudgingly respectful, "your demonstration was truly impressive. The Galactic Council will have much to discuss in the coming days." Lena smiled. "Thank you, Ambassador. But as I said before, this victory belongs to all of humanity. We are a species of innovators and problem solvers, and we will not rest until we have secured our place among the stars." As the Invictus returned to Earth, Lena couldn't help but feel a sense of excitement for the future. Humanity had taken its first steps onto the galactic stage, and there was no telling what they would achieve in the years to come. But one thing was certain: the galaxy would never be the same again. Humanity had arrived, and they were here to stay. The price of victory. The streets of New York City were filled with a sea of humanity, as millions of people gathered to celebrate the end of the Crutaxian War. Banners and flags waved in the breeze, while music and laughter filled the air. It was a day of joy and triumph, a day when humanity could finally breathe a sigh of relief after years of struggle and sacrifice. But amidst the celebration, there was also a sense of solemnity and reflection. For many, the price of victory had been high, and the wounds of war were still fresh. Captain Lena Serov stood on a balcony overlooking the city, her eyes fixed on the horizon. She had been hailed as a hero, the woman who had led humanity to victory against the Crutaxians. But she didn't feel like a hero. She felt like a survivor, one of the lucky ones who had made it through the war alive. Beside her stood Admiral Mikhail Livanov, the grizzled veteran who had been her mentor and father figure throughout the war. He placed a hand on her shoulder, his eyes filled with understanding. "It's not easy, is it?" he said softly, celebrating victory when so many have been lost. Lena shook her head. "No, it's not. I keep thinking about all the families who will never see their loved ones again. All the soldiers who gave their lives so that we could be here today." Mikhail nodded. "It's a heavy burden to bear, Lena. But we must remember that their sacrifice was not in vain. Because of them, humanity has a future." Lena knew that he was right, but it didn't make the pain any easier to bear. She had lost friends and comrades in the war, people she had grown to love and rely on. And now they were gone, leaving behind only memories and a sense of emptiness that could never be filled. As the celebration continued below, Lena's mind drifted back to the early days of the war, when humanity had first learned of the Crutaxian threat. She remembered the fear and uncertainty that had gripped the world, the sense that they were facing an enemy that was far beyond their capabilities. But humanity had risen to the challenge. They had banded together, putting aside their differences and working towards a common goal. Scientists and engineers had worked tirelessly to develop new weapons and technologies, while soldiers had trained day and night to hone their skills and prepare for battle. And when the time had come, they had fought with everything they had. They had faced the Crutaxians head-on, refusing to back down or surrender. They had endured unimaginable hardships and sacrifices, all in the name of protecting their home and their way of life. Lena remembered the final battle, the one that had turned the tide of the war. She had been on the bridge of the Invictus, directing the fleet as they engaged the Crutaxian armada in a desperate last stand. The battle had been brutal, with both sides taking heavy losses. But in the end, it had been humanity's ingenuity and determination that had won the day. They had used every trick in the book, every weapon at their disposal, to outmaneuver and outfight the Crutaxians. And when the smoke had cleared, the Crutaxian fleet lay in ruins, while the human ship stood tall and proud. It had been a moment of triumph, a moment when humanity had proven to the galaxy that they were a force to be reckoned with. But the cost had been high. Thousands of human lives had been lost, and countless more had been wounded or traumatized by the horrors of war. The scars of battle would linger long after the fighting had ended, a reminder of the price that had been paid for victory. As the celebration continued into the night, Lena found herself wandering the streets of the city, lost in thought. She passed by memorials and monuments, each one a tribute to the fallen heroes of the war. She stopped in front of a statue of a young soldier, his face etched with determination and bravery. The plaque at the base of the statue read, "In memory of Private First Class David Hernandez, who gave his life in defense of humanity." Lena felt a lump form in her throat as she read the words. Private Hernandez had been one of her soldiers, a brave young man who had fought with courage and honor until the very end. He had been one of the many who had made the ultimate sacrifice, laying down his life so that others might live. As she stood there, lost in her memories, Lena felt a hand on her shoulder. She turned to see Admiral Ivanov standing beside her, his eyes filled with understanding. "It's never easy, losing the ones we love," he said softly. "But we must remember that they died for a reason. They died so that we could have a future, so that humanity could take its rightful place among the stars." Lena nodded, blinking back tears. "I know," she said, "but sometimes it feels like the price was too high, like we lost too much in the process of winning." Mikhail sighed. "That's the nature of war, Lena. It's never pretty, and it's never easy. But in the end, we must focus on what we have gained, rather than what we have lost." He gestured towards the city around them, alive with light and laughter. "Look at what we have achieved, Lena, at the future that lies ahead of us. Because of the sacrifices of those who came before us, we have the chance to build a better world, a world where humanity can thrive and prosper." Lena knew that he was right. The war had been a terrible thing, a tragedy that had claimed countless lives and left deep scars on the human psyche. But it had also brought out the best in humanity, showcasing their resilience, their courage, and their unbreakable spirit. And now, as they stood on the brink of a new era, Lena knew that they had a responsibility to honor the sacrifices of the fallen, to build a future that was worthy of their memory. She turned to Michael, a determined look in her eye. "We won't let their deaths be in vain," she said. "We'll build a better world, a world where war is a thing of the past, and where all species can live together in peace and harmony." Mikhail smiled, his eyes shining with pride. "I know you will, Lena. I have faith in you, and in all of humanity. Together, we will build a future that is bright and full of hope." As the two of them walked back towards the celebration, Lena felt a sense of purpose and determination fill her heart. The road ahead would not be easy, and there would be many challenges and obstacles to overcome. But she knew that humanity was up to the task, that they had the strength and the courage to face whatever lay ahead. And as the fireworks lit up the night sky, painting the world in a dazzling array of colors, Lena knew that the future was bright and that the best was yet to come. A new era. The Galactic Council chamber was buzzing with activity as representatives from across the galaxy gathered for the first time since the end of the Cretaceous War. The mood was one of excitement and anticipation as the various species and civilizations prepared to chart a new course for the future. At the center of the chamber stood Captain Lena Surov, the hero of the war and the leader of the human delegation. She was flanked by her trusted advisors and friends, including Admiral Mikhail Ivanov and Commander Zhang, the brilliant tactician who had played a key role in humanity's victory. As the session began, the Zaraxian ambassador took the floor, his voice filled with a mix of grudging respect and lingering skepticism. "My fellow counselors," he began, "we stand today on the brink of a new era, one that has been shaped by the events of the recent war. The Cretaceous Empire, once the most feared and powerful force in the galaxy, has been defeated, and a new balance of power has emerged." He paused, his gaze sweeping across the room before settling on Lena. "And at the center of this new balance stands humanity, a species that has proven itself to be far more formidable than any of us could have imagined." There were murmurs of agreement from around the chamber, as the various delegates nodded their heads in acknowledgement of humanity's achievements. "But the question remains," the ambassador continued, "what role will humanity play in this new era? Will they be a force for good, working towards peace and cooperation, or will they seek to dominate and control, as the Cretaceans once did?" Lena stepped forward, her voice calm and confident as she addressed the council. "Esteemed delegates," she began, "I understand your concerns, and I share your desire for a galaxy that is peaceful and prosperous. But I can assure you that humanity has no intention of seeking dominion over others." She paused, her gaze sweeping across the room. "We have learned the hard way that war and conquest only lead to suffering and destruction. We have seen firsthand the price that must be paid for victory, and we have no desire to inflict that price upon others." There were nods of approval from around the chamber, as the delegates appreciated Lena's words of reassurance. "Instead," she continued, "we seek to be a force for good in the galaxy, working towards a future where all species can live together in harmony and cooperation. We believe that our strength lies not in our weapons or our technology, but in our ability to adapt, to innovate, and to find common ground with those who are different from us." As Lena spoke, the mood in the chamber began to shift, from one of skepticism and uncertainty to one of hope and optimism. The delegates could see that humanity was sincere in their desire for peace, and that they had the wisdom and the courage to lead the galaxy towards a better future. Over the next few hours, the council engaged in a spirited debate, discussing the various challenges and opportunities that lay ahead. There were disagreements and differing opinions, but there was also a sense of unity and common purpose, a recognition that they were all in this together. As the session drew to a close, Lena took the floor once again, her voice filled with emotion as she addressed the council. "My friends," she said, "we stand today at a crossroads, a moment in history where we have the chance to shape the future of the galaxy. It will not be an easy task, and there will be many challenges and obstacles along the way. But I believe that if we work together, if we stand united in our commitment to peace and progress, then there is nothing we cannot achieve." She paused, her gaze sweeping across the room. "Let us seize this moment. Let us build a future that is worthy of the sacrifices that have been made, and let us show the galaxy that a new era has begun, an era of hope, of cooperation, and of endless possibility." As Lena finished speaking, the chamber erupted in applause as the delegates rose to their feet in a standing ovation. They knew that they had just witnessed something special, a moment that would be remembered for generations to come. In the days and weeks that followed, humanity took their place on the Galactic Council, working tirelessly to build bridges and forge new alliances. They shared their knowledge and their technology, helping other species to develop and grow, and they worked to establish a new framework for galactic cooperation and diplomacy. There were challenges and setbacks along the way, moments when it seemed like the old divisions and animosities would resurface. But humanity remained steadfast in their commitment to peace, and slowly but surely they began to make progress. As the months turned into years, the galaxy began to change, to evolve into something new and different. Species that had once been bitter enemies began to work together, sharing resources and knowledge, and building a new future together. And at the center of it all stood Lena Sarov, the woman who had led humanity to victory, and who had helped to shape the course of galactic history. She had become a symbol of hope and inspiration, a beacon of light in a galaxy that had once been filled with darkness and despair. As Lena stood on the balcony of her quarters, looking out at the stars that stretched out before her, she felt a sense of pride and accomplishment wash over her. She knew that there was still much work to be done, that the journey towards a truly peaceful and prosperous galaxy was far from over. But she also knew that they had taken the first steps, that they had laid the foundation for a new era of cooperation and understanding. And as she looked out at the infinite expanse of space, she knew that the future was bright, and that the best was yet to come. For Lena, and for all of humanity, the end of the Cretacean War had marked the beginning of a new chapter, a chapter filled with hope, with possibility, and with the promise of a better tomorrow. And as she stood there, gazing out at the stars, she knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, they would face them together, united in their commitment to building a galaxy that was worthy of the sacrifices that had been made. It was a new era, a time of change and growth, and Lena knew that she and her fellow humans would be at the forefront, leading the charge towards a brighter and more hopeful future. And as the sun began to rise over the horizon, painting the sky in a dazzling array of colors, Lena smiled, knowing that the best was yet to come.